I will say the same words I said a few hours ago when we finished off the live stream. Painful, brutal, excruciating. And that was a win the Jets could have, should have, would have had, which is always the worst kind. But we'll continue to look through the rubble of that loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, 16-12 against the New York Jets. We'll also talk about the Aaron Rodgers potential return timeline and how the hell to fix this offense, which has not scored an offensive touchdown, hell, a touchdown in general, since the New York Giants game. So we're going to explore all of that here on a Monday episode. Let's roll the footage. Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans. Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show. Come on, people. Aaron Rodgers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby. For me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Good morning, everybody. My name is Paulson Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show. Also available in the audio-only form shortly after this show is over. Just simply search for Boy Green Daily. Every Monday, we have this man on the show. Italy, gosh darn Jet, baby. Ciao, my man.
Ciao. What a frickin' morning. First off, how are you? How's everything before we talk about this game?
Yeah, it's a different bird because the Jets haven't done this very often in the last decade plus. Obviously, there was Week 4, of course, Kansas City Chiefs, and then this Sunday Night Football, where you wait around all day. I mean, again, it's in the lyrics of the song, "Waiting all day for a Sunday night."
I love it. I love what Carrie Underwood does it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And again, I tweeted it out before the game that I never take it for granted, especially with how few times the Jets get an opportunity to play under the lights in this particular venue in terms of Sunday Night Football, this platform. And I said, so I'm by myself watching the game in my living room, and I'm just so fired up. I'm like, this is amazing. I've always loved Sunday Night Football. And, for most of the game, or however you want to describe it, for a large chunk of the game, the Jets are moving the ball. They're going all over the place. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. But a little voice in the back of my head is going, man, these are field goals, not touchdowns. And you're keeping the other team in it because instead of it being, 9-3 and then eventually 9-6 at the half, it could have easily been, 13-3, could have been, 20-3. Like, there's all these ops of scoring touchdowns that the Jets let slip through their fingers, and you keep a team in it at home in prime time, and eventually they work their way into the game. Then all of a sudden you're forced to respond, and it looked like the Jets would. Get the Josh Jacobs fumble, the Jets are driving, and then Zach Wilson throws a back-breaking interception. I thought Zach Wilson looked okay, though, to be honest with you. He had a lot of really good moments, but that pick was brutal. So how about you, Italy, coming off that game? That's one where you were right there the entire time, and it's painful.
It's honestly, it's very painful. Like it was one of those, because my uncle is a very big Raiders fan, and he always gives me crap about anything with the Jets. And this game I wanted badly, not only just a win for me because of the family thing, but just in general. Like, this would have helped. This would have helped our season. This would have helped going into the week with the Bills. 11 straight quarters since the Giants game, no touchdown. And then poor clock management. And then also just in general, we haven't scored. We just haven't scored a touchdown. It seems like everything we do something right. Penalties just come. And these refs aren't calling anything against it, like against the Raiders. They missed a couple big ones. And I'm like, okay, is it just us all over again or what's going on? And then you had a couple drops with Wilson. You had Lazard. When you throw a nice pass, Lazard just bobbles. I'm like, oh my God, is he going to drop it? You just never
Thank goodness
know.
he hauled that in.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
goodness.
But Zach Wilson wasn't the entire problem last night. He just wasn't. He is everything you expected that last night. Made some good things happen, but also Zach's going to be Zach eventually too. So overall, I'm very disappointed with the discipline with the coaching, and and no accountability. And right now, Olbrich looks like our best coach right now. It just from what he's doing with the defense, and the defense is going to get pissed off eventually if we don't get this right. Everything is going to erupt, and we don't need that right now. We just don't. We've changed that narrative the last decade. I felt like the change for this kind of culture and this kind of moment, but anytime it's going to erupt, and we just don't need that right now. We don't need that right now.
That's a money word, erupt. That's a good way to put it. And speaking of that, real quick, I mean, the offense erupted in a lot of ways. Their third down conversion rate was the best they've had all season. They were 7 of 16 on third downs. They were making money throws. Now, I will say, I said this and tweeted it out as well, that it didn't become much of a complaint because the Jets were converting in these scenarios, but the same predictable starts to these drives have run, pass. You run, and then you pass in an obvious passing scenario. And thankfully, Max Crosby didn't get home on some of those because the Jets were able to convert. You had that rub on Xavier Gibson on the right side of the formation. You had a couple of nice ones to Garrett Wilson. But I did, even when it was going right, as again, I think that was one of Nathaniel Hackett's better games, although that's not saying much because of everything that happened. I still hated a lot of it. But the predictable nature of the starts of these drives, I wanted play action on first down. I wanted to have some of that same magic you had in the Chiefs game. And those were some of the things that found success, creating those gaps in coverage. So that part was incredibly frustrating. But yeah, this is the thing. Obviously, Zach Wilson is not perfect by any means. He's not perfect.
Yeah.
But when you have a young quarterback that isn't Patrick Mahomes, the rest of the team needs to lift him up. They need to help him. I'm not saying they all have to make these spectacular, crazy plays. Just if you all do your job, you're going to make life a little bit easier for Zach Wilson. Garrett Wilson, our star receiver and everything else, he had several drops. A drop on a beautiful slant. Zach Wilson delivered right to his Mitch drop. He had a beautiful one down the left hash, which would have been inside the 5-yard line. Zach Wilson put it right in his hands. Another drop. So, yeah, Garrett Wilson had a lot of spectacular plays. He was the leading receiver for the Jets and all that jazz. So there was a lot that went right there, but a lot of drops. And then the back-breaking penalty. CG Uzama, kick him to a different planet. Disgusting.
Amen.
Even if you take him out, that hold on Max Crosby didn't prevent the Breece Hall touchdown. So it was like a meaningless penalty, which is struggle. And then the Michael Carter chop block. Oh, God. All these penalties. It's disgusting.
What are we doing with Carter? Like, Cook was actually cooking. Cook was
cooking
a little bit.
He looked great.
He looked pretty good. And then even when Zach Wilson dove in for that touchdown on the right side, if there wasn't a penalty, we still would have had good field position. Maybe Warsaw would have ran it in. Like, I've been like, heck yeah. And then, but the red zone issues, third down issues, it's still a constant thing. And then even with the defense played elite, Boy Green. They did, but they did have some missed tackles too. They had some missed tackles too. Sauce Gardner. And then we don't even know what's going to and then we don't even know what's going to happen with Mosley yet. That's a pivotal point right now.
I will just add this on Mosley real quick. Saleh said he could have finished the game if the Raiders had a drive to finish the game. Obviously, they didn't get the ball back. So he said he will be fine. I think he said everyone will be fine. The only one, which was, I always butcher his last name. He's the practice squad linebacker they've called up a few times, Sam something or rather. I think he's a former Ram. Anywho, he's the only one that had like an injury worth noting from Saleh after the game. We will see, of course, because obviously injuries can spring up. But as far as that's concerned, CJ Mosley should be okay. So that's good news. If anyone's looking for that here on a Monday morning, just to share. But yeah, so the Jets lose, and here's the worst thing.
Mhm.
Well, relatively speaking. So the Jets, with their loss, fall to 13th in the AFC conference in terms of the playoff picture.
Right.
Quick explanation. 32 teams, 16 on each side. 7 teams on each side make the playoffs. The Jets, with a win against the Raiders, would have been 8th. That means right outside the doorstep, literally the last team without making the playoffs in this structure. That's where the Jets would have been with a win. With a loss, they fall down to 13. Now, here's the bad news. The 2 teams they've lost to over the last 2 weeks, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the LA Chargers, are both directly in front of you. So that's bad news. And they have the head-to-head tiebreaker. In playoff tiebreaker scenarios, the number one tiebreaker they go to is, hey, did these 2 teams play during the regular season? Oh, they did? Okay, the winner, if it's matched equal wins, will leapfrog you. So if the season ended today, obviously the Jets wouldn't make the playoffs, but they'd also would not be able to, overcome the Raiders or the Chargers. That's not good. So these losses over the last 2 weeks could very much bite the Jets if we're talking playoffs in a couple of weeks. I know a lot of people aren't. I've been seeing the chat lighting up.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
The Bills, the Dolphins the next 2 weeks. It's over.
Yeah.
This is the NFL.
Fire solid
Yeah,
too. Like
I'm
there's
seeing
a
all that
bunch of
in
stuff
there.
going on right now.
It's a week-to-week league, people. It's a week-to-week league. This sucks right now and very painful. I just said it. But the Jets, and I will tweet out this stat after, so you guys will get a heads up on the stat. Since 2022, Zach Wilson's undefeated against the Buffalo Bills. He is the Buffalo Bills' kryptonite. The numbers won't wow you. It's not like he's throwing 500 yards a game or anything.
Right.
But when he faces off against the Bills, they win. The Jets are 1-0 against the Bills this season. The Bills are the one that has the pressure. You would think the Jets, with everything that just happened, but now, because the Jets have lost 2 in a row, there's no expectations for the Jets. It's like, the Bills are going to get right. The Bills are going to get right. All the pressure's on the Bills. If the Bills win, they hold serve. They match the Jets in this season series. But what if the other happens? The little broom emojis. That's what happens to the gosh darn Buffalo Bills. So all the pressure's on them, and Zach Wilson is a Buffalo Bill killer. So I don't know, man. And this Buffalo Bills team, we'll see them tonight, obviously, Monday Night Football. They've looked broken all season. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunities for me if I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and in the moment, we're all very, as a fan base in general, we're very. We've had a lot of lot of bad moments, right? We've had a lot of bad moments in a very long time. So I think today still going to be more of season's over. This offense sucks. Everything is going to blow up. Hopefully by the Bills game, we fix some things. But if it's still the same old story, like you even said, Zach Wilson, right? Zach Wilson, kryptonite. If that is the final straw and loses this game, is look 50-50, then it's going to be even more of a revolting. And we don't need that to happen.
And just to show you the week-by-week nature, Jared B. just posted this on our YouTube channel. The comment, beat the Eagles, lose to the Raiders. If that doesn't tell you more week to week, then I don't know what will. Okay?
Yeah.
I hated seeing the Raiders smoking victory cigars and grittying and all that. That's annoying as hell because I think the Jets are a better team. But they didn't win, so it doesn't matter.
They didn't win,
but
yeah.
The Jets are the only team that have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles this year. The Jets beat the Buffalo Bills week 1. Like, people calling this total disaster, they're 4-5 people. Would I have preferred them to be on the other side and having 6 wins and playing for first place in the division against the Dolphins in 2 weeks? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Again, would have preferred that path. Yes, I would have. But now, as you look at it for the Jets, don't think about wild card. Think about division. So worry about the wild card. Like, here's what I said, because there was I celebrated the Patriots' downfall yesterday, which was hilarious. The Patriots lose; they're 2-8. Fantastic.
I love it.
However, a bunch of fans gave me crap saying, "Paul, you're an idiot. Why would you root for the Patriots' downfall? Like the Colts are the team that needs to do this, blah 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 blah." Here's what I say: It was November 12th yesterday. It's November 13th today. I don't give a flying hoot about those other teams. So if you people want to get the Jets fan rooting guide and have random rooting interest in a Colts Patriots game in Germany, God bless you. Okay. I'm not going to think about that till maybe there's about a month left in the season. That's when I'm going to start saying, okay, this team needs to lose, this team needs to lose, this team needs to win so the Jets can do this, blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing none of that crap right now. That's ridiculous. That's dumb stuff to do. But hey, fans can do whatever the hell they want. They can split it any way they want. I'm going to enjoy the Patriots' downfall. The Patriots have never been 2-8 under Robert Kraft. Thank you, tasty. In season number 30, it's about time they taste the same things the Jets have tasted for far too many years. So suck it, New England. And I'm not going to apologize for celebrating that evil empire coming down to its end. And I only hope and cherish that the Jets can end Bill Belichick's his final game as a Patriot. I hope the Jets could go into Foxborough and beat the New England Patriots. So that would be spectacular.
Just everything the Patriots have been doing has just been honestly kind of the bright side of the season for Jets fans and for everyone. So the fact that the Patriots are doing this bad is fantastic. But I just got one thing to say to the Jets, man, right now. It's
sure, yeah.
Get your crap together on offense, man. Hold accountability to players, discipline. Stop being a player's coach right now. Like just stop. Like, you got to be hard on these guys. You can't let this crap with all these penalties be like this. Like, you're screwing your team. Like Zach Wilson said in his press conference, every single thing, every single thing penalties on offense targets us 24/7.
Yeah.
Just fix it. This defense is elite. And give Zerline, I would never say this, Boy Green. Give Zerline a raise. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Thank God. Because,
holy crap.
Most kickers in Italy miss kicks, every once in a while. And he's missed one this year, but most kickers miss. So, like, some of these, the Jets are like, well, at least we got the 3 points. Some kickers miss. Imagine that. Imagine the Jets get all the way down the field and then they come up with nothing with the miss. But thank God for Legatron, old Zeester, for finding ways to be able to cash in some points. And to your point, I'm just sick and tired of the same press conference every week. And it's this. It's Robert Saleh coming up to the podium, self-inflicted wounds, self-inflicted wounds, self-inflicted wounds, penalties, turnovers, all this dumbass stuff. Like, and no touchdown, obviously. So the Jets have not had a touchdown since the Giants game. That's over 30-plus offensive drives since the last time they had a touchdown. It's obviously inexcusable. It's obviously ridiculous. So for Nathaniel Hackett, I hope there's no excuse making saying we're close. F close. I want the results. This is a results-oriented business. Shut up and show me points. Shut up and show me touchdowns. And again, they had ops yesterday against the Raiders, but they didn't cash them in, so I don't want to hear about them anymore. I want to figure out what is going to unlock this offense and find it. And go to the back of your playbook. I don't care. Get razzle dazzle. We didn't talk about this much on the live stream yesterday, but Garrett Wilson has a wide open pass to Alan Lazard. It looked like both was terrible. Garrett Wilson threw it to the bench, and then Lazard seemingly stopped running. If he keeps going, the safety gave up on the play. That's an easy walk-in touchdown, another touchdown that we didn't talk about. So that one was bizarre. So go into your bag like that if you need to. I don't give a flying hoot how it comes. I just want touchdowns. I just want points. And that's going to have to be the way to do it. So, Italy, a couple things real quick. Aaron Rodgers on the broadcast says that he is planning a quote-unquote mid-December return, which, by the way, is a month away, believe it or not. Yeah, and what do you make of that? What do you make of those comments?
Well, I mean, that's awesome, right? I mean, that's awesome.
That feels like a butt coming, but
it is a butt coming. So you know me. I don't know if the state of the team on where we're at. Like, I don't want him to get injured again with this offensive line and the scheme that we're going with right now. I just don't. I'm always hesitant when a guy comes back from that so quickly, and I don't want it to ruin what we got going for this project coming next year. And if somehow this team turns it around, it looks like a good call, but I'm more concerned about that Achilles even more because of two reasons. One, I want to see what we do in January and in December, and then kind of like, okay, let's evaluate a little bit. And the second, we put a lot of money in our bags for this project with Aaron Rodgers, and all of a sudden he's not going to retire, but if it say happens with Achilles again, right? I'm afraid that he's going to retire if something bad happens to Achilles coming back early. That's
fair.
two things. That's two things.
Yeah, that's again a fair concern because again, Aaron Rodgers obviously is working like hell, and I'm so proud. That seems like a weird word to say for
it's remarkable.
older than me, but
it's remarkable.
But whatever it is, that he is fighting so hard to get back. He doesn't have to. He could be collecting his paycheck and saying, "I'll see you in 2024 if I want to," and he's fighting so hard to get back, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But that's obviously the concern because if he comes back, he gets injured. Not only does that not help 2023, obviously, with another injury, then 2024 could be compromised. And then once again, you're in this complicated boat of what the hell do you do at quarterback? So as well, Robert Saleh said yesterday, the quote was this, that if his doctors clear him, then we'll clear him. So it sounds like there won't be any snafu there. There can occasionally be a snafu when you have different doctors saying, we don't agree with that guy. So it doesn't sound like, at least according to Saleh, that will be an issue. So we'll see. But again, it has to matter. I don't want Rodgers coming back to whatever it would be, a 5-9 team or something crazy. It has to be a team that's competitive, and that makes these next 2 weeks incredibly important. We got the Buffalo Bills in a national window coming up on Sunday. That's a 4:25 kick, and then a short week, Black Friday, of course, Thanksgiving week, the holiday week, and God bless to all you guys. And then you'll have that Black Friday game at home. So this is a critical stretch for the New York Jets, but it's not over. We will flip the logo officially above your head to the Buffalo Bills, and we'll be recapping that next week with you as perhaps a change in the season or God knows what.
Yeah, or God knows what. It's going to be interesting to down the stretch if even if Rodgers comes back or not, seeing what's going on with the Mosley, seeing what's going on with this offensive line. And I just don't want to prove Sean Payton right. I'm just going to be honest. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either. So there's got to be some serious looking in the mirror this week. And hopefully they can find some answers because I'm looking forward to it. So Italy, as always, thanks for popping on.
Love you, buddy. Grazie.
There he is. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Boy Green Daily. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, as we start to look ahead to the Jets-Bills. We'll have multiple Buffalo Bills insiders on this week. Greg Thompson and Anthony of Cover One, both joining us later this week to preview the second Buffalo Bills matchup of the season. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you show your support wherever you're watching. Hit the follow button, the like button, the subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.